bang, bang. Caribbean Pulse. Yo, we're live and we're on the air. We're in the building. It's a very, 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 very special day. We got a very interesting topic for the people. And I just want to get right into it right now because I know normally we have a little talk, little ting and ting and ting, but hey, it's an important topic today, so I just want to dive right into it. Um, Live in the studio, I have a very, very special guest, Miss Robin De Silva. Miss Robin De Silva has over 30 years of experience in the healthcare profession. And folks, I just want to tell you that, our topic for today is going to be mental health. I know May was Mental Health Awareness Month, and we're kind of a little bit behind on things. Robin brings with her a wealth of information. On the on the phones, I actually have Carolyn Fields, and Carolyn also has over 30 years of experience within the healthcare profession. So, with today's topic, we're going to get right into it. Um, I'm going to have the ladies introduce themselves and tell us a little bit about themselves. The reason that I wanted to do today's topic is because mental health is something that affects all of us, right? Regardless of our race, regardless of our gender, regardless of our age, of our financial standing, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter our political affiliation. Mental health is something that affects all of us. There was a post done a few months back, in case you missed it, and the post was from Elmo, Sesame Street character. And so it started out that Elmo just asked people a simple question, and Elmo asked people, "Hey, how are you guys doing?" And based on the overwhelming response that we've gotten, we realized that, you know what, folks, we're not really doing well at all. And the simple fact is that it's okay for us to be not okay, right? And what I mean by that is that mental health actually, especially within the Caribbean community, has a stigma of saying, "Hey, shake it off and move on." And so I want to dispel part of those myths and those rumors today with today's topic, and we want to dive right into it. So I'm going to have Robin kind of just introduce herself first live in the studio. Robin, please, if you will.
Good evening to our listening audience. Therefore, that is hearing the sound of our voice and hearing this podcast. I welcome you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I know, Current, just going to reiterate that you said mental health was in May month. But what statistic like one in six American on an every yearly basis is diagnosed or suffer from some form of mental health. I think it's okay for us to have a mental health discussion, even though it's passionate, because it's a topic that needs to stay in the forefront. As for my credential, I have over 30 years of healthcare experience, starting off as home attendant and worked my way all the way to registered nurse, and then I went and get my master's and postmasters in holistic practice, and my first master's is in family practice, and currently I'm a PhD candidate at Walden University.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot. So definitely coming with a wealth of knowledge. And we thank you for being in the studios with us today. Before we get further, I want to introduce my next guest on the show. Carolyn is live on the phone with us, live from Nashville, Tennessee. Carolyn, would you introduce yourself to the people, please?
Yes, yes, yes. Hello and welcome. My name is Carolyn, and I am coming to you right live and direct from Nashville, Tennessee. Nurse, ER nurse mostly for almost 20 some years, and nurse in general for more than 35 years of experience. But most of that is ER nurse. So I'm going to speak off of mental health regarding what I see, my experience, my years of experience, especially in the last few years of COVID. So I can speak to that and let you know about mental health, especially in our Black and Brown communities. So let's go. This is a topic that I'm very passionate about, and I want to shed light. And I thank you, Karen, for shedding some light onto this topic because a lot of our brown and black people are culturally they're either don't have access or don't utilize the access to these healthcare facilities. And so therefore you're looking at the mortality rate is very, very high among this particular community, black and brown community. So let's shed some light. Let's do this. Let's go. Let's do this.
All right, well, let's get into it then. So I just want to say this. I want to ask this question, ladies. When we speak about mental health, first of all, the key is to first and foremost open up the dialogue box so that we can engage in these conversations that's going to lead to getting the treatment or the help that you need. So, but before we can get into opening up the dialogue box, I think it's important that we understand to recognize the symptoms and the things that are leading to mental health. Because, research from this shows, mental health affects all of us, right? And it's not just the perception of saying the person is crazy, they went insane, or whatever it is. Things that can affect all of us can lead to our mental breakdown. It can be from relationship, it can be from financial struggles, it can be from your physical health. All of these things play a part in our psyche and a part of our mental health. So now recognizing that the fact of this is what makes us well on a whole, and not just treating the medical side of it, but treating the mental side of it as well, and recognizing those symptoms. So what are, ladies, some of these things that us as loved ones that may have someone affected, what are some of the things that we can look out for, basically?
Well, Terrence, first, let me just give a broad overview on what we consider in the healthcare field, in the mental health field. What is mental health? Mental health illness or any disorder, and it can range from mild to severe, and it affects the person's mood, the person's thinking, the person's behavior. It can be triggered from you at risk for it from biological factors such as your genes or brain chemistry, life experiences, the trauma, and Carolyn can elaborate on the trauma part that can cause folks to go into depression as a ER nurse, and it can also stem from family history of mental health problems. What are some of the signs to look for? Basically, the biggest thing, it depends on the age range because a young child may not show the same symptoms as a young adult will show when it comes to seeing or looking for signs and symptoms of mental health. Um, I will speak from the adult standpoint. Mental health, you look to see change in your loved one or your family behavior, being withdrawn, decreased appetite, weight loss, lacking motivation, dropping out of school or college, basically even being irritable, being very what we would call short fused. And you will want to, shifting, especially for Caribbean, I want to touch on this from a Caribbean standpoint. We do not believe, Caribbean folks on a whole do not truly embrace mental health issue the way in which it should be taken serious.
Wow, that is amazing because growing up
Yeah.
in the Caribbean with a Caribbean background, oftentimes we're taught, to shake these things off. Why are you being weak, boy? What's wrong with you? Hey, get up! What, like you're acting like you're
Yeah.
stupid or something. So these are all things that we have to work to overcome this perception that we've had so long within our community. And speaking from a perspective of a African American male, and you know, being within your family, being the head of the family, or whatever the situation may be, right? A lot of times the burden is often placed on us that we have to not only be the strong role model, not only be the provider, not only do all of these stuff, but we also have to deal with the out there and the things that are going on within the world out there. And these things lead to a breakdown. And sometimes we end up in places that we don't want to end up. We end up in an emergency room. So, Carolyn, I want to bring you in on this because I know your background and where it lies. What are some of the things that you're seeing, not just from African American men, but from our females, from our sisters as well, that when we're coming into these emergency rooms, like what are you guys seeing? Can you talk to us about that?
Man, we've been seeing this since, like, my experience shows, like, a lot of mental health. And a lot of people that come into that ER, they're coming in with all kinds of different symptoms. But what I mainly see is the pre-adolescents and in their maybe 20s, in 20s and 30s, this is like almost an onset. If they're